I'm going to show you guys how to make an accordion book, a little front back cover, a nice little spine, and the pages are zigzag or accordion folded and glued in. You can see it can kind of pop out. It's not bound in like this, and it is kind of one continuous artwork with separate pages as you close it up. So for your supplies, you're gonna need your chipboard, front, back cover, and your spine. This is cut down to size. You're gonna have your front and back, your pattern paper, solid paper, your front and back cover, your tape. You could use gaffer tape, or you could use duct tape, or you could also glue in a book binding cloth. And then your page, your cardstock, watercolor, poster board also works for this. And then scissors, pencil, and glue for completing this project. So first I'm going to put glue on one of my chipboard pieces. I'm going to take a little bit of this white glue and spread a nice thin layer. I can use this side of my cap to spread that all around, a nice thin layer so it doesn't squeeze out the side. And I'm going to place that, I'm going to glue that down onto one of my covers, and I'm going to place it up against this side and have kind of an even edge all the way around. I'm going to press and squeeze that down. Any of my excess glue should be coming to squish out. Hopefully that's not too much. And then I'm going to cut the corners of my paper. I'm going to miter the corners. You want to leave a little gap of space here. So I'm just going to cut this kind of 45-degree angle, leaving that little bit of paper here on that top and bottom corner. And then you're going to fold the three sides in. I'm going to fold the bottom up and the top down and the edge in, and I'm going to be gluing that down. So a little bit of glue on the top, bottom, and side. And then I'm going to repeat all these steps for my other front cover, and don't worry about this not lining up. That is going to be covered up anyways. All right, next up, I'm going to need my front and back covers, as well as my spine and my piece of tape. So I'm going to put my piece of tape sticky side up like this, and I need to center as best as I can that middle spine. And then I'm going to put my cover. I'm going to leave about the thickness of 2 boards before I put my cover down. So it's not right up along the edge. I want to leave a little bit of thickness, like maybe a little less than about 1/4 of an inch. And it should look like this, where you see your cover here around the outside edge. And I'm going to fold the extra tape up and down. And then I'm going to press in and kind of accentuate those gaps here between and really work that tape into those low spots. All right, so here is my cover. So with my book cover finished, I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to work on folding my paper. I'm also going to work on illustrating my paper, drawing, painting, markering, whichever steps I'm going to use. So this book cover gets set aside for a while, and I'm going to focus on my long sheet of paper. So you're going to start by folding this piece of paper in half. And then you're going to fold this paper in half again, each of these flaps, and this other side. And I'm going to continue dividing these little segments up into half. I'm going to fold this one up. And then this section needs to be folded one more time. The paper is only going to be about like 1.25 inches thick. So I'm going to fold this paper back down. And then now it's going to take me a bit. I need to get all the rest of my paper zigzag folded till my paper is that size you see here. And that is going to be able to fit inside of my cover. So I'm just going to keep on folding, and sometimes my folds are going the wrong direction. Like this may end up needing to go the other direction, which is fine. I can just flip those creases, and I'm just going to fold that over. I'm going to match this side up, give a good crease, and I'm just keep on working in half. I'm going to take this larger section, fold that one in half, and then keep on dividing this down. Okay, so if I ever get to creases that are going the wrong direction, I can just go through here and zigzag this back and forth and get that back and forth accordion fold, so I can just flip any creases until I have something like this. Needs to go zigzag back and forth, back and forth. And now at this point, I would not glue this actually into my book yet. I would go in, flatten this paper out, and start to create my illustrations. Now there needs to be a front and a back to this. It's very important that one side is up and not the other. And you're gonna know which side is up, because if this first page lays flat, and the rest of these can zigzag back and forth, and the last page lays flat, that is going to be the top of your work, because it is going to glue in like this. If this top paper does not lay flat, this zigzags down. It's kind of hard to explain. That first one is a mountain fold. That is incorrect. It needs to be a valley fold. This needs to be able to glue in here. You may want to, with a pencil, you may want to mark that this is the wrong side, so that you know that you are not illustrating that side. You're focusing on this one. So I'd go in, I'd work on my drawings. Notice, pay attention to spreads. Some of these pages will be a spread. So you see 1 and 2 here side by side, and 3 and 4 side by side, but 4 and 5, page 4 and 5 do not connect. So some things you're welcome to let them stretch from one page to the next, but some things are going to be on the wrong side of the paper. They kind of wrap around. So just kind of pay attention to that, those spreads that you have that are side by side. When my illustration is completely done, I've finished working on everything I need to flatten inside this paper, because you can't flatten this out to draw. It's very hard to do. So you want to do this all while it's completely flat. I am then going to show you guys how to glue this into the cover, but you're going to come back to this step once your artwork is done. I can't emphasize that enough. And now I'm going to glue my book into the cover. So a little bit more Elmer's glue. And as you see here, we're going to glue the ends of the paper into the book. So I have that back side I X'd it out here. I'm going to put a little bit of glue, spread it out thin. And then I'm going to want to line that up so that this kind of crease line is about even with the edge of that first chipboard cover. And then I'll move all this paper out of the way, and then my back cover, same thing, a little bit of glue all over, spread it out thin. And then this one is also going to go right on the edge of that chipboard cover, even out the top and the bottom. Press and hold that for a while. Okay, so you at this point could take a rubber band or a clip around and hold that closed. This book kind of always has a tendency to fling back open again. Lots of different reasons why. It could be the tape, it could be the thickness of the paper, how many pages I have stuffed in this book, the fact that it's not sewn into that spine. So it is going to always kind of stay open, but you could band that closed to kind of hold it still. It may start to have a tendency to close back up again, but makes this awesome kind of sculptural little book. So enjoy that accordion book.